Hi, listeners.
Chatty Chappies.
Here we are again.
Chatty Chappies.
Chatty Chappies.
Chatty Chappies.
Chatty Chappies.
Brian and Andrew on
Chatty Chappies.
Thank you for turning on Chatty Chappies. Andy and Brian are recent friends who are discovering similar interests and just like chatting about all kinds of things from music to vehicles, spirituality to writing, but seldom football. No, never soccer. I mean, never football.
Chatty Chappies.
You are listening to Andrew and Brian on Chatty Chappies. You do have a fish
batter.
batter,
So
right?
when we're coming back from sea, the common myth is there's loads of fish get caught in the fin of the submarine.
Oh,
So we can always find someone, and it's normally someone who it's their first trip, that are quite gullible, so they get dressed up in a wetsuit, and they've got flip-flops on, and they normally get given some kind of bat, and they're standing there waiting they're going to be the first person to open the hatch, and they've got to whack any fish in case they're still alive.
Yeah.
oh, that sounds funny. I'm looking forward to speaking with you more, Matthew. But Andrew, here we are again
Here we are. Yes.
in Studio One,
Back in Studio One.
and there's three of us.
There is indeed. We have my son Matthew with us, who, if you've heard that first bit of the conversation, you'll probably have worked out is a Royal Navy submariner, or was up until recently. And we're swapping stories, and we're hearing something about life in the submarine service. And
Good to meet you, Matthew.
Nice to meet you.
Good to
Been
meet you.
Looking forward to coming on. So
Yeah, lovely. Where shall we start?
so, you decided to join the Royal Navy way back.
well, I left school in 2013. Kind of decided that college and university wasn't the thing that I wanted to do, and so I was just walking past the recruitment office one day, and thought I'd pop my head in, and just one thing led to another, and
Then you found yourself under the water
Yeah.
in a submarine.
Was it a yellow one?
no, sadly they're not yellow. Been asked that many times though.
I'm sure.
One Hogmanay, I believe it was.
Yes,
Basically, on the bells,
yes.
you were going.
basically on the bells as we went into 2016.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I was on a submarine and we dived on the bells at midnight. So yeah, that was an experience.
So what's it like on a submarine?
So if you've ever seen the film Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, I believe, he almost gets trapped in a time loop
Yep.
where he is reliving the same day over and over again.
Yes.
And that is very much what it is like being on a submarine, because you work in a 6-hour shift pattern, and so you get up for your morning shift, and you'll be on from 7 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, and you'll have 6 hours off in the afternoon. So when you come off your shift, you'll maybe go to the gym, well, have something to eat, then go to the gym, and then you'll maybe get a couple of hours nap in the afternoon. And then you'll come on your evening shift, which again is 7 in the evening till 1 in the morning or at night. And then when you come off, that's normally when you try to get your solid kind of 6 hours of sleep.
And so, do you have the red light as opposed
Yes.
to white light, so that you know it's night time?
So yeah, that's one of the only ways you kind of know what time of day it is during the day we'll have white lights on, and at night there's red lights on. And the other way I always knew how I was waking up was what meal I was going to eat. If I was getting up and having breakfast, I knew it was early in the morning, and if I was getting up and having dinner, then I knew I was going into my evening shift.
So obviously we can't talk about the confidential stuff, but simple things like, what's the food like?
So the food, there's always quite a set menu. So and there'll always be a theme to certain things. So Friday night is always fish night, fish and chips, and Saturday is always steak night. We always get a roast on a Sunday, afternoon, so that's always something that you always look forward to. And then kind of for breakfast it'll just be a fry up or some cereal, and occasionally they'll put out some kippers or some haggis to go along with that.
They'll be the type boil in the bag type kippers, I take it. They're not.
Yes, sadly, boil in the bag. We're not getting any fresh.
You're not getting.
Kippers.
You don't sail through a shoal of fish.
No, sadly not.
So there seems to
From the
be
nuclear reactor. No.
there seems to be a lot of routine in this. The food, the hours.
Yes.
There's probably some safety in that. How was it then when you came back on shore?
So there's always a period of kind of almost trying to readjust. Like when I used to come back, and I'd almost be quite hyper for about a week because you experience fresh air
Yep.
and natural sunlight. These two big things that you've not experienced for kind of 3-4 months. So yeah, this natural sunlight and the fresh air hit you, and it just gives you a lot of energy. So for about a week, you're running around wanting to do everything, and then you start to slow down again and go back into more kind of normal pace of life, I guess.
Okay.
So, what was church like on a submarine?
So yeah, we do have church on a submarine, and when I was on my last trip on Victorious in 2019, I was lucky enough that I was asked to lead church, so I had to organise the services and organise a place that we could meet. But it is the standard book answer is it's a multi-faith, non-denominational religious service.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyone of any religion, any denomination can come along, and it's just a safe space for them to almost switch off from everything that's going on the boat and can kind of have a bit more of a relaxed setting. So we'd normally have a couple of Bible passages, have a light-hearted discussion about something, and then we'd always finish with tea and coffee and biscuits.
So, did some people just come for the tea and coffee and biscuits?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I think
Fed them something.
Yes, but I think they also appreciated the space that it was somewhere you like. Even if you didn't, if you weren't coming for the religious aspect of it, it is a space where you can just switch off from everything that's going on the submarine. It's, obviously, you don't really have any personal space on a submarine, so to have somewhere where for half an hour to 45 minutes every Sunday, yeah, it's very nice for people to just have that area to kind of have almost something a bit more normal.
Okay. So you're doing a desk job now?
Pretty much. I work in a simulator, so we train crews who are getting ready to go away to sea. So the simulator is set up to look like a control room of a submarine, and the crews will come in and they will do their jobs as they would at sea, and they get assessed and they get told, yeah, you're safe to now go away and do your job at sea.
Okay, right. Now, over the last few weeks, we've been talking about various things, but one of the things that's caught the imagination of some of our listeners is the buttery, or rowie, as they call it in Aberdeen, and more recently the Empire Biscuit. Do you have a favourite between these two?
I'd probably lean towards the Empire Biscuits.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's... Where I live down in Dumbarton, there was a corner shop called McCall's, and they had Empire Biscuits in there. I believe they were McGee's Empire Biscuits, and they were... sadly, in the last 6 months, they've stopped selling them, and I'm searching high and low to try and find them. But they were up there with some of the best that I've had.
Of course, Clyde Estuary, are you a little bit too far south for butteries?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Yes, there would be a lot of people, as you further south you go and in the Central Belt, you possibly even wouldn't know what a buttery is.
Yeah. Tesco's we know in Perth. I think Tesco's in Stirling. That's probably
as far south as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can keep selling
We can sell the.
Yep,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can sell it on to these
We
people.
might even have to go on a missionary journey.
Maybe, yes,
Andy and Brian's first missionary journey,
and we could go to all the countries that are in the group. So that would
the
be
counties of Scotland.
United States,
Well, there would also be
Lebanon,
Yeah,
Nepal, Pakistan, Norway, England.
yeah,
I think that's probably about it.
yeah,
Yeah, and Wick.
and Wick.
And Wick, yeah.
They will get them up there anyway. I think.
Wick, yeah, because this is where I can apologise, because I said the while ago Steps was south of Leicester, when in fact it's north of Leicester.
Yeah.
So that's me cleared the air on
Yes,
that one.
yes.
So we've got a few more minutes left, and I wanted to ask you, Matthew, a couple of things. Maybe something from your bucket list, something you would want to do if you can, and maybe mention a favourite track or music or something like that that might...
So for a bucket list thing, I think something I'm quite into at the moment, I like the idea of, is kind of island hopping around all the different Scottish islands.
Okay.
So currently I've only been to Lewis and Harris and the Isle of Mull.
And Skye.
And Skye. So kind of go to North and South Uist, and obviously go up north towards Orkney and Shetland. There's a lot of beautiful scenery, obviously, and there is a lot of history on each island as well. So I think, try and tick off all the different inner and outer Hebridean islands.
It seems to be popular, and in fact a few programmes back we talked about Iona, and that sense of retreat, a bit like perhaps the service on the submarine, where you'd come away from the normal and you can rest and relax. So the island hopping sounds like a good idea. Now, would this be driving, cycling, public transport, camping?
Probably a mixture of public transport and driving, and if I could, I would definitely prefer camping than staying in a hotel, but obviously depending on the time of year and weather dependency.
And the midges.
Oh, yes.
And the midges.
The midges.
Yeah, we don't like the midges in Scotland, so it all depends, but camping would be the preference.
Okay.
And so, at some point, a thought came to me there. I want to speak about a trilogy of books by a writer called Peter May, called The Black House, The Lewis Man, and The Chessmen.
Oh,
Okay.
Set on Lewis and the Uists and Eriskay, which
okay.
I listened to, and they're well worth their crime thriller based out there on Stornoway and Lewis. Very well written, and well worth reading, and especially when you've been to the islands and you can actually envisage the place. And of course they talk about that Lewis delicacy, the Guga.
The Guga.
The Guga.
I can't say that's something I've ever heard of.
No.
The Guga is gannet collected by the men of Ness, and I think it's pickled gannet.
Pickled. Oh dear. I think I would go back to Buttery's.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be an acquired taste.
I think,
Very famous
that's what
book
it is,
called
Matthew.
The Guga Hunters
Yeah.
by Donald S. Murray.
Right. So give us the names again of the three books.
The three books are The Black House,
Black House,
Lewis Man,
Lewis Man,
and The Chessmen.
on the Chessmen. I think some people have heard of the Chessmen. Yeah.
They are,
How about a few shout outs? Hi Ken, thanks for joining us.
Ken, yep, and we've got
Nice to meet
Leslie Francis out in Richmond, Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, hi Leslie.
Yeah,
We have Rebecca Muir, who is visiting Inverness with myself.
Yeah,
For the first
hi.
time.
Nice to meet you, Rebecca. That was good. Lovely meal tonight.
so we've got lots
Great.
and lots. We've got 83 followers now.
83 followers. We're heading for 100. That's
Yes.
great.
We're heading towards
Getting
100.
close to
So,
that triple
okay.
figures.
And here we are. Time is up again, guys. Really good to meet you, Matthew.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your feedback.
Great. So, there we are.
There we are.
First studio guest.
Yep. Live coming soon.
Live coming soon. Yeah.
You were listening to another program of Chatty Chappies.